friends meet, why don't you come along? See a face that's new, share a point of view, or maybe sing a song. Life has many stories that you hear all the time. Two of them you'll hear today, that's yours and that's mine. But there's a third story that'll always be there. Just climb to the top of the stair. Life has many stories that you hear all the time. Two of them you'll hear today, that's yours and that's mine. But there's a third story that'll always be there. Just climb to the top of the stair. Climb to the top of the stair.
Where Byron and Kurt are today.
Yeah.
Ah, there they are. Hi, guys.
Hi. Look at the stuff I got.
Hey.
Oh, neato.
What is this, a garage sale or something?
Selling a garage? My dad needs one.
Wow. Where'd you guys get all this stuff?
Kurt and I cleaned up my folks' garage.
But what are you going to do with it now?
Oh, we thought we'd bring it over so you could pick up some valuable stuff for your antique collections.
You can have that, Teresa.
Yeah, but is it me, though?
Actually, Byron's grandfather's horse wore that.
Hey, how about this? Is this worn out?
Yeah, but you can have them anyway.
Oh, I wonder what I could do with it. Got any bright ideas?
Hi, I'm Corinne Weens. I live in British Columbia. I think kids should do things so their parents aren't always running around and, well, they don't have to do all the chores for their kids. Like some kids don't do anything. They don't clean up their room. They don't make their bed, and then their parents are just doing everything for them. That's just not good, because when they're older, they're just going to be so lazy and not having responsibilities. Can't be counted on, I guess. At our house, the dog chores have to be done. We have to feed the dog, clean up the yard, clean up the house, sweep, clean the dish, just all the things that are involved outside. My sister and I take turns going back and forth week by week, and while I'm doing the dog chores one week, she'll be doing the dishes for the whole week, the kitchen chores. It happens that somebody doesn't take their turn, and then if they don't do it right one week, then they'll have to do it again, or then they'll just do both chores that week. I think God would like you to help as much as you can, like for other people who with problems, and be considerate of them. When going to the store for a neighbor and you have a whole bunch of money, you shouldn't, if you have some change left, you shouldn't just keep it for yourself. You should give it all back. Be honest about it. When your parents are gone and they tell you not to watch too much TV, like just about half an hour, you shouldn't watch about an hour just because a special's on. You should watch the time that's given to you. Be happy that you've got that time to watch.
Well, what inspired you guys to clean up your place and actually do some hard work?
Yeah, how many times your folks have to yell at you and finally do it? Well, they asked me last month.
He didn't want to seem too eager. Then he'd always have to do it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
This is one of your more common birds, the crow. Crows live all over Canada and the United States, and even though people have taken over their natural habitat, crows still have been able to survive and have actually increased in population. One reason why crows are not in danger of becoming extinct is that they are very loyal to each other and have a good system of communication. They depend on being able to warn each other when an enemy tries to sneak up on them. The crow's language consists basically of one very simple syllable, caw. Changing that caw just a little bit will give it a completely different meaning. For example, a crow's version of caw can mean that the flock is safe, while something like cock, cock can mean danger. Crows can also communicate such ideas as "look out," "good food here," and "let's get out of here." Basically, they communicate things relating to food and protection. Crows have very good eyesight and can detect anything that is unusual or out of the ordinary. Scarecrows that are set up in farmers' fields do little to keep the birds away. Once they realize that the scarecrow won't harm them, they will approach it cautiously and soon will ignore it as they eat the grain. But that doesn't say that they become careless. While they are eating, they must have some protection from their enemies. This is where reliability and teamwork come in. When a flock of crows settles down in a field of corn to eat, 2 crows will very likely not join in the feast. They have a job, the job of guarding the rest of the flock. It is the duty of these 2 crows to keep an eye out for any intruders and to warn their fellow birds of any danger. Bird watchers have reported what happens when the 2 guard crows are not alert. They have seen the 2 crows get careless when an intruder like a fox sneaks up. He gets very close to the flock. One of the birds who is eating sees him and sounds an alarm. The flock realizes the danger it's in and makes a wild scramble for safety. Well, when the danger is past, the flock takes disciplinary action. It singles out the irresponsible guards and descends on them. There is no thought of mercy. They are destroyed. This may sound rather cruel, but the flock does not take a chance again on sentries that will not take their duties seriously.
Hey, look, a game. Anybody want to play?
I will, and I'll be banker.
Okay.
You know, Lily would like these magazines. Can I save them for her?
Sure, but where is she now?
Yeah, I haven't seen her around lately either.
Why, she told me that her mother got after her for not cleaning up her room. She had promised 2 weeks ago to do, but kept putting it off. So Mother finally told her to stay in the house until she did it.
Yeah, what really made her mom uptight was that company was coming and that room still isn't clean. Lily wouldn't let anyone in her room. She was so embarrassed.
Yeah, I can just see her trying to keep her nosy relatives out of her room. Keep out! Keep out!
She should have cleaned her room when her mom asked her to.
Or even before, like when it was getting messy. Seems like she kind of, copped out.
Yeah, and have you cleaned your room lately, Harry?
Don't bug me. Listen, we should do some singing. Singing makes work easier. Why don't we practice at home, and then you can sing it when you're doing work, right?
I know a place that's made with love, living in every member of the home, where I'm at home. I know a
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Oh, here comes the workhorse.
Can it hurts?
Lily, do you think you deserve to stay in until you finish cleaning up?
Of course not. How did you know about that? I told them. Well, thanks a lot.
Well, Lily, there's no harm done. It just kind of came up.
Well, that's okay. I was gonna clean it up anyways.
Yeah, well, you promised your mom.
I had other things to do too.
Well, copping out, or being irresponsible, is kind of a dangerous thing to get into. Jesus once told a story of an employer, his 3 servants, and some of the responsibilities that he gave them. Kurt, why don't you be the employer? Mona, you be the first worker, Byron the second, and Teresa the third, okay? And let's act it out. Have we got some money we can use?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, here. Okay, Kurt, you're the employer. Here you are. One day, the employer decided to go away for a while, so he called his hired hands together. He gave them some duties to take care of while he was away. He gave his first worker $5,000, well, let's say dollars. The next worker got $2,000, and the third got $1,000. Well, once their boss was gone, it was up to the workers to make the best use of what was given to them. The worker with the $5,000 went to the trade market, and by trading carefully, he managed to increase his money by double the original amount. In a similar way, the second worker took his $2,000, and by investing carefully, he also doubled his original amount. But the worker who got the $1,000 was really worried about losing it, and he finally hid his employer's money by burying it in the ground. Now, after a while, the employer came back home. He called his servants together again and asked them to give account of how they had handled their responsibilities. The first worker showed him the extra money he had made, and the employer was so impressed with his faithfulness and good sense that he put him in charge of bigger projects because he knew that he could trust him to do a good job. The second worker also gave him added money, and the employer was happy with him too. So this worker too got more responsible jobs to do. But the third worker didn't have anything to show his boss besides the original $1,000. The employer was angry with this servant and called him lazy for doing nothing with what had been given to him. So instead of giving this hired man more to do, he took the $1,000 he had given him in the beginning and gave it to one of the other workers. So the worker who had done a lot with what had been given to him was given more work to do, while the unprofitable worker who had little to begin with ended up with even less than before. Jesus' reason for telling this story went far beyond lesson in money management. God has given each of us special abilities. When we follow God, we can use these abilities to serve Him and other people. Jesus said that someday He will come back to earth to see what we have done, to see how responsible we have been. Then He will take those who have been faithful with Him to a reward in heaven. You know, our responsibilities may not be too heavy, but that doesn't mean we should try and get out of them.
Even if we don't like doing them?
Well, especially then, Lily. I know it's not hard to do the things that I like, but the real test comes when I have to do something that isn't exactly my thing. And you know, once you get into it, you can actually start to enjoy it.
Yeah, and if you do those little things good, then you get bigger and more interesting things to do, because people will start trusting you to do the job.
Yeah, that's right, Ellie. If you do your best in the small things, the greater things will come your way.
So the more you can do, or the more you know, the bigger your responsibility.
We're different. Just look at the prints. No 2 fingerprints on Earth are alike. But fingerprints are on the surface of the skin. Each of us has something unique underneath that skin, some kind of talent. inside there's something that wants to come out. Entertainers, listeners, talkers. People who don't listen. People with something to prove. Talents. Leave them buried down there, or bring them out and use them. How we use them is up to us. Talents? God gave them to us for a special reason when He made us. He can help us improve them and use them in the best possible ways. To hold them back is to cheat others of their benefits. Why hold them back?
Invented. It's so much easier to do what's easy.
Right or wrong, good or bad, in every little thing. Every day in many ways, the choices life can bring. What's important, what is not, I need to know. I want your trust in me to grow. And ooh, tell me, what do I do? Jesus, I need to know, 'cause I've got so many choices to make. Please show me which way to go. Should I make good marks at school or be in with the gang? Let my clothes lie around the room or pick them up to hang? Kind and loving, rude and shoving, what should I be? Every day the choice is up to me. And ooh, tell me, what do I do? Jesus, I need to know, 'cause I've got so many choices to make. Please show me which way to go. God, I need you every day to know my choice is sound. Help me keep from copping out and hiding in the ground. What's important, what is not, you always know. I want your trust in me to grow. And ooh, tell me, what do I do? Jesus, I need to know. 'Cause I've got so many choices to make. Please show me which way to go.
Hey, look, a basket.
Here's a letter from Darlene Bromberger. Dear Third Story, I learned a lesson today. We have a garden chair and I set it up. As I was setting it up, I thought I'd play a trick on my sister Denise. So I pretended my finger was caught in the lever. Denise came running out of the house. She saw me. She ran over and started panicking. She tried to get it out and it wasn't even stuck. After I told her, she hit me and kicked me and bit me. After dinner, I finished setting it up. Then my finger really did get stuck. Oh, did it hurt. I screamed, and Denise just stood at the door and looked at me. Mom came out and got me loose. Boy, was my finger sore. I have to write with my left hand, so I learned my lesson.
This is how you do it. First, you take a nice piece of paper, you smooth it out, you put it in a typewriter, you type some letters on it, you put it in an envelope, then you stamp it, you mail it, then you just sit down and wait. There you have it, the Third Story magazine. Just write to the Third Story, Box 2, Station F, Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's the Third Story, Box 2, Station F, Winnipeg, Manitoba.
God has given each of us certain talents and abilities. It's up to us to use them in the best possible way. That's part of what it means to be responsible. You guys, this place is a mess. Let's clean it up. Come on.
We're not responsible.
I've had enough of Rick.